Hey guys, so it's Deja here, and we got the famous recording artist and producer Browz in the building. What's going on?
What's going on? What's going on?
How are you?
I'm doing excellent.
That's good. I was cracking up because when I first reached out to you, you were like, well, it's not like I'm going anywhere. Or would you say I'm not going anywhere? I don't have nothing to do.
Yeah, it's like if people saying like, "Yo, I'm mad busy. I got stuff to do." They lying.
What?
Unless
How's the quarantine going up for you? What you got? What you doing to stay busy?
you know what? My life really hasn't changed except for maybe to go get a haircut, maybe to go film or. Yeah, that's about it. I'm usually a homebody anyway, so it doesn't bother me. I have a pre-production. I'm in my pre-production studio right now.
I see.
So I spend most of my time doing that anyway, producing or, coming up with records and stuff like that. So.
Well, that's good. So at least your life wasn't really affected. There's people who are like going crazy because their whole routine is shot and like just done. So I'm happy that it's good. Just
that's why artists got to always, invest in a little home studio.
That's important.
Because you never know, when it be times like this.
Right, prepped and prepared. All right, so I want to get into, first I feel like we have to dig into your past for people to really understand the importance of this phone call right now and the Zoom. So,
okay.
Browz, Ether Boy, Pop Champagne, Bop, Timeless. I mean, that's so you got Ether Boy. That nickname was because you produced Jay-Z's diss track to Nas.
Yeah, that's how it came about. No. Yeah, yes. That's how it came about. But the whole Ether Boy thing is one of my friends, he was making a joke. He's like, "Oh, if you ever have a kid, you're going to have a little baby Ether Boy." And it just kind of just stuck, and I just kind of just ran with it.
You ran with that. So, like, I mean, Pop Champagne was like the biggest party song in 2008, 2009. Like, that actually won an Urban Music Award, right?
Oh, we got nominated for Best Collaboration on the BET Awards.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Yeah, we didn't win. We lost for something, but I don't know what that was about because that song was too huge not to win.
That song was like, and it's still a bop. It's a timeless record.
Yeah.
Like, that thing is crazy. So tell me about those times though. Like, that was like the Browz takeover. You were like, but that was like that takeover moment. How was that for you?
Yeah, the takeover moment, they always say God prepares you for things.
Right.
So at that time, I just started to work on records. Mm-hmm. I was trying out records and trying them out. And then 50 Cent, I was inspired by 50 Cent record, I'm a Rider, when 50 Cent first used the auto-tune.
Did hear that.
So I was like, I knew Payne was doing it, but when 50 Cent did it, I was like, yo, he put a little street twist to it.
Something to it.
So I was like, I was like, yo, that's kind of hot. And so I call my engineers and stuff. I was like, yo, I need that effect. What is that? They say, yo, it's auto-tune, so they gave it to me. And I'm in the house trying to see how to use it because I thought it was like a 1, 2, 3 thing.
Okay.
It's really not. So I'm trying to figure it out. And then, that's why in Pop Champagne, it's like 2 parts, 2 sections of a beat. One section is, just the bop, and then the next instruments come in. I was trying to I had to hear myself. Like, yo, I got to hear what I'm doing. So that's on the bop part, and then, it just kind of came together, man. And then, when I did that, I also made Jumping Out the Window A-Rap Money.
And A-Rap Money,
like those things. So I had those things done, like they were done. So as Pop Champagne started to bubble, that's, Busta Rhymes called me. He's like, yo, I need a record. And I'm like, yo, I sent them beats. I thought A-Rap Money was a little bit too far-fetched, like with the idea. But when he heard it, he was like, yo, that's my single. I don't care what you're saying on there. That's my single. That's
right.
My
like, what were you saying on there? But that was a bop. That was the song.
Yeah. I was just, I'm from Harlem, so I'm used to going to the the corner stores, and I love the instrumentation of Arabic music, so it was a mix of that, and me being inspired by their music and stuff like that. Yeah, and Pop Champagne was really, I know people be thinking things be happening like that, but it was really a grind. Like Pop Champagne, I recorded it, and had to get the DJs on it, had to get them to believe in it.
Right.
Staying on top of DJs to play it, and then staying on top of club DJs to play it. And it kind of grew in the clubs.
It did, definitely. I remember I was young when that song came out. I was probably like 11, showing age and everything. I was 11, and my mom would be, right? My mom would be going out with my aunts, and she came home, and she's like, we got to find this song. It's like Pop Champagne. I was like, what song? I was like her, like, technology person. She's like, you got to find a song for me. I'm like, what song? Because she heard it in the club. It was a club banger.
Yeah. So, yeah, that, it was like, it was a moment, and like I said, then I gave the record to Buster. I mean, I had seen Jim Jones because it was a version with me by myself. I saw Jim Jones. Jim was like, yo, I like that record. I heard it. So I was like, you want to get on it? He was like, yeah. He gets on it, and then it's bubbles some more. And then he's like, yo, if we put Jewels on it, this would be the icing on the cake at the time. And I was like, all right. So we was actually waiting for a while for Jewels to put his verse on it. Like, yo, when he's going to put his verse? So
that's great.
He finally put
Jim Jones ended up putting that on his album?
Yes, we ended up sharing a record. He had a big deal at the time. I was upcoming, and he, we just worked out some business.
Right.
So it worked out for both of us, and it worked out. I ended up getting a record deal. We both used the record, and
that was a dope time. And then, like we were talking about Busta Rhymes, like even that was a hit too. And even like these relationships that you built with these guys, you're still cool with them, and that's dope because a lot of artists can't keep that connection. So how important is it to keep relationships like that in the music business?
I'm not going to sugarcoat anything.
Right.
It's some people you'll meet and y'all keep a genuine relationship, but then sometimes it's just people you'll meet because you're hot at the time.
Right. That's true. Okay.
And then when you're warm or you get a little cold or not as, hot, people will, be like, oh,
yeah, turn.
I ain't picking up for that guy.
Right.
You're the ones you keep a relationship with for years, you'll know that it's like a genuine thing. And then if you fall out, not fall out, but if a relationship deteriorate, it was only because that you were hot at the time. So especially upcoming artists, they definitely need to be aware of who's genuine and who's just trying to use you for the moment.
And do you feel like that comes with time? Like clearly you won't know that until that time passes where you're not that hot.
Yeah.
Okay.
That comes with time. You ain't gonna be able to identify it.
Well, I
right out.
You still got that relationship with Buster. You was bringing in your birthday with him.
Yeah, me and Buster is cool. I got some new records coming out with him that I produced for him. That's for his project coming out. I did a lot of music for his artists, Prayer and Murder Mook, and a bunch of those guys that's on his conglomerate label. So yeah, me and Jim just did a show right before the quarantine.
Really? Oh, thank God.
And I'm sure Wells would have been there as well if he was home. But yeah, that was a good look. Me and Jim performed the record, so that was cool as well.
That's dope. But not even to like go into the past, you have things that you're doing now. And like I was listening to oh my gosh, what's it called? You have that song with Zodiac Signs. I love Zodiac. Because I was listening to Zodiac Signs. I like that one. Wake Up, and it all sounds like your timeless bop, Pop Champagnes, and not a lot of artists can bring that same vibe into a new time frame. So what's the secret of it?
It's a party vibe.
Yeah.
More or less. And then, Uptown, I'm from Harlem, the Uptown scene. And when you go to the Uptown clubs, Uptown Harlem, Uptown Bronx, it's still that energy. Like, they like, yo, I want to dance.
I love that.
I want to dance. And at one point, I lost it because I was like, there was a lot of music coming out and you trying to stick in what was going on. And then I would go uptown to the clubs and they'd be like, still jamming. So I'm like, nah, I got to go back to the original format. You know what I'm saying? So I always try and keep that element. People love me for that. I try and go out the box sometimes, but most of the times I keep it real club up tempo, just for, so when they do my set, it's like a,
you dancing all night to your set. That's it.
Yeah, that type of vibe. Yeah.
The whole time. What would you say are the pros and cons of the way top music has changed over time? Because it's much different than it was in like the late 2000s. But what are your pros and cons as a music producer for how much it's changed?
I like the braveness right now.
I love it. Okay.
Where before, let's say, let's say 10 years ago, people were sticking to a format. And, kind of, because you came up of the other older artists at that time.
Right.
But, they did records a certain way. But now I feel like everybody's brave. Like, yo, I'm going to do a song about combing my hair. Or I'm going to do a song about this. So I'm going to do a song and, hey, and it's not going to have, it doesn't have, like, regular format. I like the braveness of the music now. But what I don't like is the DJs wanting records to sound the same.
Okay, I get that.
Like, it's like, so now you have all these artists trying to do, like, rest in peace of Pop Smoke.
Mm-hmm.
Now DJs would be like, yeah, all the records need to sound like that. Well, that's his wave.
Right.
You understand?
Uh-huh.
Just because, like, artist sounds are different doesn't mean it's not hot, because it's not what the current hot artist is doing.
Right.
You understand? It's just like if Drake is ruling the charts, they want records to sound like Drake. Everybody records is not gonna sound like Drake. Everybody got their own identity.
And I don't want to hear. I know me personally. Like, I'll go to like a club or whatever. There's a place in Philly. They'll do like a Drake night, and they'll play like all rap music or whatever. And it's all back to back sound the same. And I can't, like, I'm dancing to this. It's not the same song playing. Like, I don't like that. So
I don't like annoying. That. So I kind of grew up where, sounds was different. Like, everybody had their own identity. Records sound different. And that's what made the Busta Rhymes a huge artist and the Missies huge artists, because they had their own identity, their own sounds. They wasn't trying to do what, let's say like Tribe Called Quest is doing, or this group, or the Jay-Z. Busta did him.
Right.
Puff and the Bad Boy era, they did them.
Yeah, and
Murder Inc. did them.
Like, y'all had a catalog of artists. Like, now we have a lot of people, but it's all the same. And that's
it's crap. It's crap. I don't like that. Yeah. I don't like that. And then they alienate people if they're not doing with, the top four, like, kind of like, well, like, not top 40, but the top urban records or whatever. Or if you're not doing that style, they try to alienate you out. Like, your stuff is not hot. I don't like that. But what I notice about the younger generation, they don't care if it's hot.
No, if they think it's hot, then it's hot, and that's it.
They dance to it. If it got a beat, a dope beat, they like it. You know what I mean?
That's it. So, do you have a top 3? Well, give me your top 3 favorite artists right now.
Right now?
Right now, like, give me like artists that are out right now in this.
Oh.
Top 3.
Man, that's very hard.
Really?
I don't
Why?
I don't really be liking none of the stuff.
Really?
I don't really think none of the stuff be brave. Like, I don't really. What can I say? Like, records that'll come on and I'll be like, oh, that's kind of hot.
Or like, you don't turn it. What are some songs you don't turn if it comes on? If you're listening to the radio and it comes on, you keep it. You don't really gotta listen to it too much, but you keep it on.
I don't really listen to the radio that much like that.
Nothing.
I'm like, yo, I gotta tune into R&B because the rap be sounding too much the same. I don't like it. Like,
all right, so R&B. Who do you like? You like Summer Walker, LMA, her, like.
Yeah. I like those records. Like, yeah. Stuff that just sound refreshing.
Right.
I like stuff that sound like, when I hear it, I'm like, yo, this is refreshing and dope. Like.
Okay.
Yeah, stuff like that. I'm trying to think what rap music I'll be like, yo, I like that. I'm vintage rap at this point. I don't really like none of that stuff.
I agree.
And then my thing is, I love party music. I love all kind of music. But I hate to be stuck in my ways, but sometimes I like to listen to music and get something from it. Like,
Okay.
Something from like, you know, I hate to say it, like the golden era, the Jay-Z's, Nas,
Yeah.
like they would say stuff, it would be street records, but they'd drop a jewel in there and be like, you're like, oh, okay. Damn, I learned something. Or, you know, you kind of could take something. None of the music, I feel like I could take something away from it and be like, yo, that was dope. I like just some of the records I heard after Nipsey passed away because they didn't feed us his music until after.
Right.
Are
you a Migos fan? You with the Migos?
Okay, I do.
Yeah.
You know why? Because they have fun on their records.
Right.
I like that. They do. I like the Migos. Yes, you're absolutely correct. Migos, I do like because it's fun, it's melodic, the beats be high. I do like some of the Migos records.
Okay. We go back to the Migos. So I know that I'm happy that I know this about you. So you're into the new R&B these days.
Yeah. I like it.
Cute. That's good. I can roll with that. So I know, were you on Instagram the other night when Jonte, Austin, and Neo did their Battle of the Songwriters?
No, I missed that one. I kind of tuned in on the other one, the Sean Garrett and the Dream.
Okay, that's the one that I missed. So how was that?
I liked it. I mean, I'm aware of Dream's work anyway, but and kind of not fully aware of Sean Garrett's work, but I know of his work. But I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it got a little messy afterwards,
and that's what I didn't like. So I
didn't like that either.
When I realized I missed it, I'm like, that's crazy. Like, I want to go back and watch it, do a little recap or whatever. When I was seeing they were going back and forth afterwards, I'm like, that's immature.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like, come on,
That's not what it was for. It was for to, go back and forth with the your work. Some people was putting my name in the comments like, oh, I want to see Ron Browz, go back and forth with a producer.
What who though?
Oh, they were saying a bunch of producers.
Okay, wait. So can you help me understand this? Because I kind of don't get it. So where they have I was listening to Jonte and Neo. I don't really know who won. You have to recap that a little bit so you can give me your opinion on it. But they were talking about what is the difference between being the producer and the songwriter? Don't you guys kind of work hand in hand a little bit?
Yeah, that they were the songwriter battle.
Right.
So they have.
Okay,
the beats battle, the song battles, producers, like the beats was like when Swiss and Timbaland, because they not writers, they the beat makers. Now, the Dream and Sean Garrett, they write records for a Beyonce, for different artists. So that's the difference. Like they write a song for them.
But why did I think that? I don't know. You can't answer why I thought it, but I automatically thought that songwriters and producers kind of went ahead, they work together in some aspect.
No, they don't.
But not writing the music, but the beat and then the song they write in the beat, right? So
yeah, let's say if I make the beat,
yeah,
and you're a writer, you can be like, you'll write this, and then we be like, yo, let's give this to Beyonce.
Okay, cool. So it is that teamwork.
So now it might be another producer and another writer, and they come up with a record. We come up with a record. Now you gonna say, "Oh, I wrote this record called, Rain," and then they wrote some record called Storm, and you'll be like, "Oh, who record charted the most, or which record affected the culture the most?"
Gotcha. That makes sense. Okay. Well, thank you for pointing that out because I was a little confused. I'm like, wait. I'm like, aren't these the same thing?
You're like, it's all the same.
I'm like, what? You made the beat and you wrote the song. What you talking about? Okay, cool. That makes sense. All right, so I don't know, so you didn't listen to this. So Jonte, Austin, or Neo, who do you listen to the most?
You know what? I wasn't aware of, what's his name?
Jonte Austin. A lot of people weren't, but he wrote a lot of songs.
Yeah, I didn't. I know my friend was like, you don't know him? Like, nah, I kind of must have been out the loop with that. But, I was aware of Neo writing. Because that always been, it was like he was a writer first and then became an artist.
Right. I don't know. I didn't really know.
Who won?
Jonte. I feel like it was a tie, but then I also because I'm a really big Neo fan. I love Neo so much, but I feel like Jonte won a little bit by a few more songs. He pulled out "Come Over" by Aaliyah. Just Be a Man About It by Tony Braxton. Like,
Oh wow!
you know what I'm saying? Like he was coming. Like he's catalog.
I gotta watch it.
You gotta go back and check that out. It was crazy. That was something crazy. Like I was like, wow. But Neo put out a lot of his own music, which is dope because he got bops.
Yeah, Dream was doing that too.
But what's some of like Sean Garrett songs? I don't really know what he's.
I'm Boss. What's it? I'm Bossy. I'm Bossy. It was some like early Destiny Child records. I think he was doing.
Really?
Maybe Soldier.
Oh, really? So I feel like they wrote. I feel like he wrote like a lot of like.
He wrote goodies too. Ciara.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I think maybe I was into Jonte and Neo because I feel like they did like R&B songs. I'm an R&B girl, so I'm like, oh, okay. He wrote this. He wrote that. That's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my thing. All right, so when you check that out, you gotta let me know who you think won. I mean,
yeah.
Like when he pulled out "Come Over" by Aaliyah, I was just like, that's it. That's the one. That's the winner. That was crazy. All right, so before we wrap up, can you give me a life lesson you can give to not people who want to just be like, you know, artists or producers like you, but just life in general? Any life lessons that you came across in your journey thus far?
Any life lessons?
Mm-hmm. Gems. Give them the Ron gems. The Browz gems.
Definitely remain humble. Because somebody you might brush off, or you might just think nothing of. Tomorrow they'd be the biggest artist, and you'd be like, "Yo, I brushed them off," or you know. I one time when I was on a road, there was a little kid just on his skateboard in the airport with his mom. And I was just like, you know, I was in my own world. My friend was talking to his mother, and I was like, she's like, yeah, he just got signed to Usher, da-da-da. But you know, at this time I'm traveling a lot, so I'm not really keen on what's going on. Like, it's a moment going on, but I'm not catching it.
Right.
So I'm like, yeah, he's talking to the mother, and then be like, yeah, I see you later, go to the gate. That ended up being Justin Bieber.
Wow.
Dang,
Justin Bieber.
Yeah, like you just I guess it'd be like moments that you have to know what's happening. Kind of sort of thing, like you gotta know what's happening when it's happening, because next is, you know, artists would be like, you'd be like, what?
Yeah, like, whoa, yeah, okay.
You know?
Like, life lesson would probably just be to stay humble.
Yes, stay humble, and don't, never act like you're better than somebody, because you don't know who that person will be tomorrow. It doesn't not be like years later. It could literally be tomorrow. Yeah, like right now, how, you know, the internet is and everything, like somebody you're a diss, or you act like you don't want to work with. Like, that happened to me. I'm not gonna say no names or whatever. You know, they took me off a song. And then that next year, the world was mine. And it's like,
dang, right. You could have had me on that.
Yeah. They chopped me off a record. I was like, all right, I take that. I take that.
You had that whole takeover.
Yeah. It's just that fast, too.
That quick. That was quick.
Not chop me off a record. They probably just made the decision to just be like, yo, you know, nah, we taking you off. I was like, all right, whatever.
That's saucy.
And, you know, the next year, it was like, what?
That was all we heard was Ron Browz. Like, you was everywhere. That's the word. There was nobody else. That's what's up. So what you got coming up next? Tell the people what's going on. What can we listen to?
During this quarantine, I'm taking it, you know, what I like about this time right now, especially for artists, it's a good time to just try out records, because a lot of DJs are going on live. They need music. You can create. You can, you know, they're more receptive right now.
Right.
Because they're going on live. They want new music. They want to have the new hottest stuff. So right now is a good time to just test records. Like, yo, what you think? You know, what you think? What you think? Fans are on the phone, so you get to, you know, yo, with the fans, what I think about the song. You know, it's a good time to create.
Right.
Very good time.
Good time. All right, cool. Well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you.
No problem. I'm sorry I was a little late on the technology.
No, it's okay. At least I'm happy that I was the one to put you deep with Zoom. Like, I put you down with Zoom. This is going down in history.
Okay.
You know what's like, you know Zoom because of this interview. So I'm happy about that.
Yes, yes.
All right. Thank you so much.